Bleacher Report just proposed one of the most absurd trades I have ever seen in my life involving the New York Knicks, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video because Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report just proposed an absolute abomination of a New York Knicks Brooklyn Nets trade surrounding none other than future Knick Mikal Bridges, where the New York Knicks receive Mikal Bridges and trade away Julius Randle, the Mavericks 2024 first rounder they just got, the 2025 first round pick of their own, and 2 second rounders, one from the Nets in 2025 that the Knicks own, and one in 2027. What? Almost got demonetized. No, not today. But what the hell? Screw it. What the fuck is this trade? I mean, are you kidding me? Julius Randle's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player in the last, 4 years. Mikal Bridges in the last 4 years has had 2 seasons over 20 points per game, both of whom with the Brooklyn Nets, where his efficiency went in the toilet because he became the first option. I love Mikal Bridges. I think he'd be a perfect fit on the New York Knicks, next to Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. They shouldn't trade Julius for Mikal. Do they want to have one isolation option? Do the Knicks want one guy who could score off the dribble? One all-star level player on the team? That's what you're getting if you trade Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges. I understand. Mikal is someone who we all want. I just did a video talking about why we probably won't get him anytime soon. And here I am because Greg Swartz wants to come out of nowhere and just say, hey, by the way, I don't know anything about the Knicks at all. I don't know who's good on this team. I've never heard of Julius Randle. What's he? Some guy who puts up, 16 and 8 like he did his first year with the Knicks, even though it was like 18 and 8. Who cares? I don't understand this trade. There's trades where I can get behind, and I get that it's like, oh, the Nova Knicks thing. Yeah, great. Bojan Bogdanovic's contract perfectly aligns with Mikal Bridges. The Knicks can give him 5 first-round picks. 2 can be unprotected. 2 can be swaps. 1 can be heavily protected. And that's a lot of picks for a guy who's not an all-star. But somehow, someway, we're supposed to give 2 first-rounders along with an all-NBA level player for a guy who's not an all-NBA level player, a guy who we have a similar version of an OG Anunoby. I do not understand this, and this is his reasoning behind it. The Knicks and Nets aren't exactly the friendliest of trade partners. They haven't made a trade since 1983, and motivation for New York to bring Bridges into the Villanova-heavy locker room and for Brooklyn to stock up on draft picks lost from the Harden trade could end this drought. No, it can't, because that's a ridiculous trade. But he then goes on and says the Knicks thrived using smaller lineups with OG as the power forward in place of Julius Randle, and the team has gone 17-3 in games the 26-year-old has been healthy. Mind you, all those games almost involved Julius Randle. A starting 5 of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby with Isaiah Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson at center, with Josh Hart as the 6th man. Looks like the NBA's best defensive group on paper with enough offense to win a title. Do they? I don't know about that. Brooklyn has rebuked trade offers from Bridges at this point, although the 31-48 record should keep all options on the table. The Nets need to stay competitive with the Houston Rockets controlling their next 4 drafts and should be eager to restock some of their lost first-round selections from the Harden deal. Look, all this makes sense. Yes, the Nets should trade Mikal Bridges. They should, so they can get their draft picks back. They should have traded him to Houston when they had the chance. They still should try to do that. Or you could trade him to the Knicks, who own a bunch of draft picks from teams that are not the New York Knicks. So you don't have to give the Knicks Mikal Bridges and then say, here's Mikal, give us your picks. Now, hopefully you lose. No. The Knicks have other teams' draft picks. They have an expiring deal in Bojan Bogdanovic. Julius Randle cannot carry that bum Brooklyn Nets team anywhere. You think that team's going to work? No, it's not. You're just giving a 30-year-old just an absolute punch to the face and be like, hey, enjoy not contending as long as you're on the Nets. And also, you know how you played for the Knicks? Now you're just going to get booed by most Knicks fans now. The Knicks are probably not going to be any better because you can't have one scoring option to win the championship. Mikal Bridges isn't a second option. Neither is OG. Neither is DiVincenzo. Julius Randle is. Man put up 24 points per game to Jalen Brunson's near 30. It's pretty simple. You have two elite scoring options. You build around players who don't really need the ball in their hands that much to succeed after you have that. You have that in Dante DiVincenzo. You have that in OG Anunoby. I guess Hartenstein counts, but centers are different. You have that in Josh Hart. You have that in Deuce McBride who can play on or off the ball. You can get it in Mikal Bridges and make Dante DiVincenzo the sixth man of the year. You can do that. You have that option. Why would the Nets even want Julius Randle? What are they going to do with him? They're going to flip him? I mean, he's got, 1 year left after that deal? You think he'd stay with the Nets? You think he'd stay? Absolutely not. He would go running for the hills like every other star player who's ever played for the Nets. One of two things will happen, because only two things happen when an all-star level player gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets. They stay for a very brief amount of time, then go running for the hills. The other option is they wake up one day and they're no longer the same player they once were. Darren Williams style, Paul Pierce style, even though we knew that was coming because he was elderly. Kevin Garnett, even though we knew that was happening because he was even more elderly. Jason Terry, we all knew he was old already. Also, he's not a star. That didn't count. Jason Terry doesn't count. Shout out Jason Terry for still being an elite role player in NBA history. Won a championship. Got that tattoo prior to the season. That was pretty hard. But that was with the Dallas Mavericks, not the Brooklyn Nets, who can't do anything right. Now, does that mean I think that's why the Knicks shouldn't make a trade? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, why would the Nets want Mikal Bridges if they could get cap relief instead? And around 5 first-rounders. One team in the NBA is giving the Nets 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, if any team is, and that's the Knicks. The Rockets are now at most going to be like, oh, yeah, you can have 3 of your picks back if you want that. And the Nets should take that anyway and be like, all right, sure, I know it's cutting our losses, but we suck and we have no direction and no one wants to play with us because we suck and we have no direction. I do not get this idea at all. These are their stats compared to each other over the last 2 seasons. So the season that Mikal got traded to the Nets, where he averaged 26 points per game in 27 games played. For the Nets, that is. He also played most of the season with the Suns before the KD trade. And Julius Randle over the past 2 years, who's been named an All-Star both those years. Randle put up 25 points a game to Mikal's 20. He only shot a little worse from 3. He shot better from the field. He averages more rebounds and more assists. Mikal Bridges' defense has fallen off a cliff when he's had to be a higher scoring option. He's still a better defender than Julius Randle, who doesn't always play defense, but I'm just saying that matters. Randle clearly is the better player if you look at these numbers. Now, if you look at these numbers, you will see that Julius Randle is the more efficient player than Mikal Bridges, having a PER of 20. The league average is 15, Mikal's is 16. Randle is a higher offensive box plus minus. No surprise there. It's actually considerably higher. It's exactly 2 points higher, which is a pretty good amount for offensive box plus minus. He also has a higher defensive box plus minus. Now that means that is your plus minus for the team when you're on the court. How much is the team outscoring or being outscored by? Yes, Julius's defensive box plus minus is a little under 0. That shouldn't surprise anyone. Julius does not play defense all the time. But why is Mikal Bridges, the man who was once, second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, lower than him? When his offensive box is lower also. When his value over replacement player is lower. When he has barely any more defensive win shares than Julius Randle, when Julius has more offensive win shares. I don't understand this. Julius has a higher true shooting than Mikal Bridges. I don't understand the point that anyone gets. I don't understand who benefits from this trade. The Nets don't. Julius is 2 years older and closer to his contract ending where he'd just walk. He would leave them. He would go anywhere else within reason. He wouldn't go to some awful team or take no money. Mikal Bridges might stay because he's indicated that he's fine with it, at least for now. I don't get this trade. Comment your thoughts down below. Am I missing something? Or is this one of the worst proposed trades that I've ever seen? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to Knicks Digest, all that good stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. We have more Bleacher Report stuff to go over because they've been wilding recently, so stay tuned. It's for a guy we've talked about a little bit in the past with trades, but it's been a minute. So we'll get on that. I'll see you guys later. Peace.